Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the Brotherhood of Wrestling podcast. And I'm your host with the most, K, the creator, although you can call me by my actual name, Kareem Muhammad. And we are here with the usual suspects, all the way from Alaska, the place where it's always cold. And the only thing colder than Alaska is his opinions on Drew McIntyre. Give it up for Kukai.
That's cold-blooded, man. That's how I come into the. Oh man. Okay. I see how this is gonna be today. I see how this is gonna be.
Speaking of cold, we're gonna go from there all the way to the Windy City, bringing up the president of the Brotherhood of Wrestling. Follow us on Facebook. Give it up for Mr. Chase, El Presidente. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Kenny. Appreciate you. Kenny. Kareem. Thank you.
And going all the way from Chicago, Punk's hometown, to St. Louis, Missouri, Orton's hometown, bringing up our silent AEW mark, Trevor X. Welcome all to the show.
You got jokes, man.
Before we get into it, a couple of house cleaning rules, announcements, I should say. One, as you can see, Kenny Nine will not be here with us this evening. He had an intense wrestling match last night, and he had to referee a lot of matches, so he had on multiple hats. So he will not be here this evening. Also, his wife has caught COVID, so he's resting and he's taking care of her. Best well wishes to Kenny and his family. Also, next week, Saturday and Sunday will be the pay-per-views you see behind me, Clash at the Castle and All Out. Clash at the Castle will be on Saturday and All Out will be on Sunday. So, with that being said, there will be no episode. There will be no episode of the podcast. Also, the following episode, which will be on the 11th, I will not be on this episode because I'm going out of town for my wedding anniversary trip. So you guys are going to have to hold the fort down for me. I will tune in and see if you all are behaving, but I am entrusting the ship to you. Let's see how the first episode goes without its host.
Oh,
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. And I will.
You should have some hope and faith in us. We're gonna do this. It's gonna be great. I'm telling you, it's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be better than Tony Khan is putting out.
Speaking of which, let's get into it. Let's get into these. Let's get into the cards. Let's get into these predictions. We're gonna bring up obviously the first pay-per-view, WWE Clash at the Castle. Gonna look that up now. Are you all excited for Clash at the Castle, or are you not excited?
I'm geeked.
You're geeked, okay?
And let me tell you why. This is like the birth of the rebirth of the WWE, a new brand. Which I think there should be a new theme song. That is a new era. This should be a whole new era. You know what I mean? Like we had Attitude, we had the Ruthless Aggression, and now that we have Triple H at the helm, this should be called a new era right here. This pay-per-view to me represents the birth, if you will, of that new era. So I think that we have a lot of surprises that's going to be in store. I think we're going to have a lot of call-ups and a lot of introductions or reintroductions to some old faces that'll be brought back. That's just my humble opinion.
Okay. All righty.
So hold on. Before you keep going forward, hold on.
Uh-oh.
So you are super excited about the advent of DX management. Okay. So my initial question is, what happened between last week and this week towards such, because there was some question last week about how Raw is supposed to be the flagship
show,
but it isn't living up to that, even with the bumps after the pay-per-view. Because I remember you making vehemently the argument that they need to separate the belts and put somebody, put a belt on Raw. So if this is the pay-per-view that's supposed to do that, and I'm sorry, man, I really put it in the same category as Wimbledon, just like Kareem did in like 92 when he did SummerSlam. I don't know how canon this is. It may put up a beautiful event, but I just don't know how canon this is. So is this you hoping that this is a new era, or is this clear cut because of DH management and the power stroke that they have at the present moment? Is it really, or is Daddy Kennedy with 80% controlling shares still pulling strings in ways that we regrettably don't like?
Well, here's my humble opinion.
Well, before Chase says that, I feel like if McMahon was still pulling some type of string, we wouldn't be seeing the returns we're seeing.
Oh,
we wouldn't be.
Okay.
Cross wouldn't be back. EO probably would have went to Japan. Dakota Kai wouldn't have come back. Both the United States and IC titles would not be being pushed the way they are.
I'm gonna wait because I got a couple of things in my car, a couple of cards in my hand, but I'm gonna wait. Go ahead, Chase.
Okay. Not him being on the phone while we're on the show. It's not professional of you, sir. You're on camera.
I'm sorry. That was my son.
I get it. Family matters.
Shout out to my son, Knuckles.
What a name. That's a wrestling name, honestly.
Funny story behind how you got that. But anyway. Here's the thing. If we look at history has proven the WWE repeats itself a little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. So if we look at when Triple H won the undisputed title from Chris Jericho, and there were two belts.
True.
It was the merging of them into one undisputed title.
Mm-hmm.
Following a very good pay-per-view, because that was WrestleMania in which he won it. He defended it one time, I think. He defended two belts at a pay-per-view, that next pay-per-view, or did they introduce him the new undisputed title?
Triple H won it, and then I believe after that they introduced the new undisputed.
I believe after this pay-per-view they're going to introduce an undisputed title, which is going to cause them to create a new title for Raw
or SmackDown. And there is a rumor that Triple H is working on new belt designs.
Oh, I hope so.
So,
are they going to be better than the tag team women's belts?
So what?
Are they going to be better than the tag team women's belts that they keep advertising right now?
They're horrible.
Dude, it looks like something Hasbro and Mattel made for.
We might get an overhaul on all the belts except for IC and US, because they've been relatively changed.
True.
Maybe.
IC belt is still icy. I like it. No pun intended.
So let's look at the match card, which honestly, it does. The match card is very small. The match card is very small. Castle? Yeah. Really? It does. It's still giving, even though this is they're not even calling it pay-per-view. They're not even calling them pay-per-views anymore. They're calling them premium live events.
A what?
They're calling them premium live events. They're not even calling them pay-per-views anymore.
PLEs.
PLEs. Yeah, not PPVs.
Oh my God!
The era of the pay-per-view is officially.
It don't roll off the tongue quite smoothly.
It doesn't.
No, not in any way, shape, or form.
It doesn't. But that's what they're calling them now. So, but even with the new name change or whatnot, with 5 matches, they could go on for a good amount of time, which is good. But it's still giving glorified house show. There are 5 matches.
Glorified house show. Feels
Well, you-
appropriate. Yes, that's
Yeah.
the vibe.
Now,
Yeah,
if
that's
they
great.
now they could add on some matches between now and Sunday because you still have Edge beefing with the Judgment Day, and now Beth Phoenix has been introduced in the picture, so we may get a mixed tag. Edge and
That's
Beth
gonna be
versus
nice.
Rhea and well, shoot, no, Edge, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Beth Phoenix versus the Judgment Day.
Introducing Dominic as the newest member of the Judgment Day.
I was thinking that as well.
Oh man,
Okay. I was
And
thinking that.
initiated.
It'd be
Well-
something refreshing for Dominic too. You know, get him out of his dad's
really?
shadow.
Y'all talk
Yeah.
about there only being so many ideas. Aren't we doing that at AEW with Billy Gunn and his son, Austin?
Yeah. But who really likes
likes
the ass boys? Let's be honest.
WrestleMania?
All I'm saying is they're recycling the same ideas, man. Talk about
I mean,
multitasking.
wrestling has been
Keep on, though.
recycling everyone's ideas since the dawn of time. So
Well, there was a time.
I
when
mean,
wrestling
that's hip
wasn't
hop.
providing the ideas.
How common is it to bite each other's styles nowadays? But
Well, we need a Montreal screwdriver at AEW for MJF.
No, they did the
we're gonna
bite
get
down.
we're getting too ahead of ourselves.
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Clash right now.
Okay.
Clash
Sorry.
at the Castle. We'll get to All Out in just a moment. But let's
Yes,
look
sir.
at this card. We're gonna go through our quick predictions and then we'll move on to All Out. We got a lot to cover, especially since
Yeah.
we don't have ring time with Kenny Nine. I'm gonna start off with a list of importance. I'm not gonna go in order. Seth Rollins versus Riddle. Who you got?
Ooh, I'm gonna roll with Seth Rollins on this one. He needs to win.
I want Rollins to win because then that will continue the rivalry, but it probably will be Riddle in order to
Yeah.
get the crowd pop, and it'll be a nice mid-card thing.
Yeah,
Riddle needs to win.
Riddle.
Are y'all
Yeah,
crazy?
Does not need to win. Riddle
Are y'all
needs to lose so you can continue to feud.
honestly,
Rollins been on a losing streak at pay-per-views. He needs
I mean,
to win.
Correct.
remember
He
what we
needs to
said.
win.
Remember what we said last episode, though. I mean, Rollins is in the giving back phase. He just has a whole new character now. Rollins is giving back to the company right now.
I still don't want him the job.
I know you don't, but that's what we all agreed on last week. So logically speaking, it will make sense for Riddle to go over. Even you just said this a few minutes ago. But as far as who I would like to win, Seth, because Seth does need a win.
Correct.
My heart
See?
says Seth. My brain is saying Riddle.
Damn shame, dude.
It's gonna be Seth.
Hey, logically, it makes sense. And it'd be a nice pop, like you said. All right, but that's a quick match. All right.
Correct. Quick,
Bianca-
like 13, 14, 17 minutes. It should still go a while.
Yeah. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and Asuka versus Damage Control, aka Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Damn, it's not the same as saying Io Shirai. Damage
Yeah.
Control goes
As
over.
far as my
Bailey.
vote,
Bailey and
as far as
Sky.
my-
Yep.
as far as my vote, yes, I want the bad guys to win, but
Yep.
I also want it to be like a 20-minute match.
It'll probably go for a long period of time because Asuka and Io have been killing it at house shows. I've seen some clips. They've been going hard in the paint. They've been
20
going
minutes.
very hard in the paint.
You think
Strong
they're worth 20 minutes?
I think, yeah.
You got 6 people in the ring, man.
You got six
in the
people.
ring, dude.
Bianca Belair can definitely carry.
Can we say
Bailey
12?
has not
Call it
shown
a day?
any signs of ring rust. And I think what's also going to happen is Alexa's going to turn heel eventually.
Old Butterball's going over.
Who?
Huh? I said old Butterball, the Butterface is going over.
Oh,
Oh,
Bailey.
wow, that's cold.
that's terrible. That's some hate right there. That's some hateration.
Oh
She
no,
needs-
it's all love.
She needs that
Yeah,
win.
but Damage Control definitely needs this one more. Besides, it won't hurt Bianca. She's still the champion. It's not like it's not gonna do any damage to her.
Won't do any damage to any of the faces.
Nuh-uh.
Depending on the finish, and it should not be a clean finish. Should be a
Right.
cheap finish.
Am I
Yeah.
wrong for saying I'm ready for Bianca to lose that title now?
No,
No, you are
No.
wrong. You are wrong.
you keep
No.
that damn title on there.
You
No.
do. You keep that title on her.
I
through
mean, she
WrestleMania.
is the face of the Raw Women's Division right now. But honestly, down the line, not immediately, down the line, I see Rhea taking it away from her. She still owed that match.
I hear you, but I'm just
And-
saying, it's just, Bianca's getting boring now.
What? Hush your mouth, man.
I said what I said.
I know what you did, but I strongly disagree. Over here.
I'm
Emphatically
personally, I'm not
disagree.
tired of Bianca. She deserves an even longer run, especially after what happened with SummerSlam. I'm so glad that story played out pretty well.
True.
But she deserves a nice little lengthy run, at least 5 to 6 months.
Whoa.
Through the Royal Rumble, maybe through the WrestleMania.
Why?
WrestleMania.
I mean,
Why?
besides Rhea, there's no one else credible.
They
How
need
would
to
it
build
look?
up people. That's what they're working on.
Bailey just got back.
Correct.
Io is still fresh, and the crowd is not familiar. Dakota is
Correct.
still fresh, and she's not familiar.
Yeah.
Correct.
You know what?
The only other person is Rhea, and right now Rhea is in other programs.
I can see them damn near getting pissed if she drops that title to Bailey. They're like, damn, y'all did it again. Y'all did it with her and what's her face?
I mean, like it'll be long-term storytelling because Bianca's last match was with Banks or Bianca.
Who?
Bailey, her
Hey.
last match.
Bianca.
It was with Bianca, and Bianca shelved her.
Correct.
Not really, but in kayfabe, she shelved her. So it would be long-term storytelling if Bailey got it back. But it's too immediate. It's too immediate for Bailey right now. So
And I want to make my money. Can the heel actually build up some heat and we make some money? Can we just do
and
regular
Rhea
wrestling?
has been building heat. Rhea definitely had. She choked out a young boy, for Christ's sake.
Understood. Which means that give it another 3 months, we've got time going toward Royal Rumble, make Royal Rumble pop, and we got a nice 3-month run to WrestleMania.
That's why Bianca doesn't have a title match at this card right now. She doesn't have any viable opponents for right now.
Roman Reigns.
Shut the hell up. Shut up.
You
Yeah,
walked into that one,
That's
man.
a fetish for some people.
I walk
Harold
into
fetish
your
for some
dude.
people.
If you keep setting me up like Bobby the Brain Heenan, I'm
Don't
gonna
worry.
keep knocking him
Two
out
can
the
play
park.
at that game. Two can play at
What
that
you
game.
know
You
about
play
Bobby
this
the
game
Brain?
very well.
What you know about Bobby?
Don't worry. Your day of reckoning is coming. But moving on from the 6-woman tag, we're already agreed. Damage control goes over. Dirty finish. And I still think Alexa Bliss goes heel. I think so.
It would be interesting, but that would mean that
she's due.
WWE creative is working
She's due for a heel turn anyway. I mean, she was better as a heel than a face.
always.
Yeah. Moving on to Liv Morgan versus Shayna.
Don't care.
Liv.
Mm.
Mia, no.
I was about to say Liv.
Shayna.
They've shown videos of Liv training in Brazilian training in like jiu-jitsu and submissions with Riddle, and I'm like,
Come on.
Shayna's trained with Ronda Rousey.
Real life. Real life.
Like
Another butterface.
shoot wrestling, not what you do.
Yeah.
Like the only way I see Liv retaining is doing Shayna the same way she did Ronda, with a dirty finish.
Yeah.
I don't see Liv retaining it cleanly at all. Either that or Baszler beats her to the point of where it's DQ.
Or Ronda helps.
No, because
Baszler.
that
makes Shayna look weak, and they're trying to build her back to the monster heel she was in NXT.
Wait a minute. How does, in this scenario, if they are doing that, how does Baszler not walk out of here with the belt?
I mean, I'm saying I want
Liz
it to
is
be
too
Shayna
small.
too. I honestly want it to be Shayna. Honestly,
This is too small. This is too small.
Baszler,
Period.
Baszler has to walk out the champ in order for Survivor Series. Or
it's gonna piss a lot. It's gonna piss her fan base off. I know that much. But the majority of people are like, she really shouldn't have won that belt. She probably should have waited down the line to cash in Money in the Bank. I found out that was a Vince call. That wasn't a Hunter call.
Okay, hey, how many times we gotta say this? Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
That was a Vince call. But that
Thank you.
was at SummerSlam. And this is before Triple H got into power. Way
Yeah,
before.
Got in power. Okay.
If you look
But-
at it,
Time will tell.
if you look
Like
at
I
it, though,
say,
Triple
old
H
man's
is,
still
is
alive.
Triple H is assuming power around the same time Vince actually started being revealed as the power behind WWE.
I mean, he was until the board of directors put him out for using their money. So
We got what Triple H?
he's literally just a shareholder. Literally just a shareholder.
Just with 80%. Okay.
Man, I'm going to stick by my original point. I'm going to stick by my original point.
Don't mention the
A
movie.
lot of these people wouldn't have come back if he had some type of pull. You think he wanted Johnny Gargano of all people to come back?
Nope.
Johnny, Vanilla Midget Johnny.
Dang, the vanilla.
He can
midget.
wrestle.
No, I don't believe he's a vanilla midget, but that's how Vince would see it.
Wow.
That's how Vince would see it. That's how Vince would see Ciampa.
Yeah. You're not lying, but it still hurts.
I know it hurts me to say it, but somebody's got to tell the truth. Somebody.
I said like
Triple H is making these moves because he's had a creative. What Vince wants has nothing to do with what Triple H does in creative.
That's
Honestly.
a lie.
Vince is used to picking the bodybuilders. Triple H is gonna pick the flippy dippies. You know what I'm saying?
The flippy dippies. The acrobats.
Yeah, the flippy flip floppity.
I mean, Johnny can do some technical wrestling now. It's not just flippy dippy with him. It's really not. That's more so Adam Cole.
Vince was like, I don't get
But
it.
Johnny can do some technical wrestling.
And pace a match. So he can do a fast-paced match, a slow-paced match. He's Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny trained with Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, he's Johnny Wrestling.
And
no problem on that front.
I've watched Johnny matches. He doesn't really do a lot of the flippy dippy. He'll do a couple spots, but he doesn't do the flippy dippy. That's not Johnny's wrestling style.
Dude, he has a slingshot DDD finisher.
That's not considered flippy dippy.
It is.
He also has a submission finisher. The Gargano escape.
I'm with you, but I mean, okay, I'm gonna shut up.
No,
I mean, if we're talking flippy dippy, he doesn't wrestle like Kenny freaking Omega.
No, dude. Or Will Ospreay. But
Or Will Ospreay.
Get ahead of yourself.
He doesn't. Johnny doesn't wrestle like that. He has that in his repertoire, but he doesn't wrestle like that 100% of the time. He can do technical wrestling. He can. His matches with Ciampa prove that.
He can.
I'm in agreement.
Keyword can. Will he though?
I think he will. Have some faith. God dang, they wouldn't have hired him back if he couldn't.
That's not true.
His knee, that left knee, is sus.
Terrible.
It is.
Screw all y'all. Anyway, so we're all in agreement. Shayna Baszler. Shayna.
She goes
and there's no way Liv is getting out of this. There's no way.
This is a filler match, man. I don't care. Okay.
I mean, if Shayna wins, we get Ronda versus Shayna.
Yeah.
Not again. See,
that's what we want.
That's not what we want.
What do you mean?
So Shayna versus who? Name again.
Ronda. Shayna versus Ronda.
I don't want Ronda again. I don't ever want to see Ronda again.
Yes, we do. This legitimizes Shayna. What
Bro,
are you saying?
And this could also be a way to put Ronda permanently out the company.
Exactly.
Okay, now for the storyline.
And this
hold on. Seeds were already kind of dropped already. Remember, Ronda told Shayna, "You used to be a killer," which set off Ronda, which brought her to doing what she did to Liv.
And
you don't think Shayna's not gonna want any get back?
Exactly, no. but what I'm trying to show y'all is the ultimate win-win-win situation here is you're now merging that UFC world and MMA world into the WWE.
You'll get a pseudo shoot match.
It's a win. Win.
Especially if they do something like the Fight Pit off NXT.
Or the Lions Den match that they did with Ken Shamrock.
Okay. The gimmick on that front now, we're starting to,
You
I
gotta,
keep feeling
you gotta
like
see the vision first.
I could
I
write
keep
him
feeling
in
like
English.
Ronda is like Goldberg. I don't want to see them again.
Who?
I feel it. You've seen Ronda, so
Ronda's
now
like
it's like the law of diminishing returns.
No.
Right. It's like, Ronda's stiff. Lots of people have a hard time working with her. She's less stiff than it seems to be Thunder Rosa. But again, I'm trying to get ahead. I'm getting ahead. Let me stop. Go ahead, bro.
I like it, Kukai. I like it. I like it.
These shots,
Kenny would be so mad right now.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I mean, my God, you didn't have to say it like that.
That's why she was crying on TV.
All right.
This is wrestling. I said that in the screen.
Now we are moving forward to the match of the night.
This back patch.
Wait, you don't even know which one I was gonna say.
You're gonna say the match of the night: Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre.
No, you fool! I was gonna say Sheamus versus Gunther. That's gonna be the match of the night.
Oh,
look at you, assuming.
Yep, I did.
That IC title is going. That IC title match is gonna go so stupid.
True.
I don't even know who to pick. Sheamus is a good pick to take it off of Gunther, but Gunther's been so good with that title. And their build has been so good. Yo, they literally had a standstill. It was just them and Pete Dunne fighting everybody else.
Yep.
Here's what I'll say. I'm going to run with Gunther winning.
Okay.
With Pete Dunne jumping ship to Gunther's side.
Oh, that's actually a nice fit.
And the reason why I say that because Gunther
remember you all haven't seen it, but they have Butch Wrestling now, and he was in his Pete Dunne gear. He may get a name change back as well at some point, but they have Butch Wrestling again.
It makes sense because Gunther is a great IC champion, and he's a great wall for people to go against. So when you get a credible challenger for the IC title. Now, I'm not talking about all of these fillers that's going to happen over the next couple of SmackDowns. I'm talking about a credible pay-per-view champion, a rising star that's going to challenge for that title. That's going to be a great pay-per-view worthy match. Plus, I believe Gunther is going to bring back the prestige to the Intercontinental Championship. Because right now, it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those.
I mean, we've been saying he was going to do that. And you had doubts before. You're saying it now.
No, I'm about to say I'm in agreement with that. I can work with that. I would like to see the Sheamus program continue through to the Royal Rumble, because the next couple of pay-per-views they can do where Sheamus is running off all contenders for the IC in order to reserve it for himself. I think and he can just do the monster character, and they can have the two monsters going at each other.
And the fight is going to be hard hitting.
It's
going to be hard hitting. Sheamus, this is going to be the most red we've seen on Sheamus since. Damn, I don't even remember.
But
he's going to be red.
All they do is slap each other.
He's going to be going from mayonnaise to ketchup.
True. And it will get Gunther over to where the mid card can start popping and get out of the acrobats and clowns section that it's in at the present moment.
That's valid.
All they're gonna do is smack each other.
You know who else they need to start building? Who's still on their roster? He's training, but he'd be a great wrestler. Drew Gulak.
Who?
Yeah.
Damn.
Gulak good. I like Gulak.
He used to be the cruiserweight that did the PowerPoint presentation, but he's actually a really good submission machine.
Yeah.
He had a great match with Leo Rush back in NXT.
I really like his.
He actually had a nickname on the independent circuit, the Philadelphia Stretcher.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
He was a great submission specialist. Gave me Angle vibes. Okay. Since they're both from Philly.
Okay.
But I think they gave that vibe now to Alpha Academy.
Yeah, but you can easily add Drew Gulak to that.
I know.
Are you advocating for a faction?
Yes.
A submission and wrestling faction with no flippy dippies? You're telling me you wouldn't be down for that?
All day, baby. All day.
Yes.
I'd get behind that. I would get behind that.
Yes.
All day.
All day.
Yes. Yes. stretch them cats out.
And
you
and
know
Drew
it's gonna be a
Gulak
wrestling
and Drew
match.
Gulak he'd be able to, how Chad Gable has what's his name, Otis, kind of like a disciplined, even though he's a fat boy. He would do the same to Drew Gulak, and you
Got
see
you.
it in the ring. Yeah,
And this gives room for Kurt to come back as their coach.
Ooh,
and Kurt is coming back.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle's coming back on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, and he also said he wants one more match.
No,
Why?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
no. He's stiff as hell now. He's stiff.
We need it. We need
No.
one.
I
How
mean,
many vertebrae are fused now,
honestly,
dude?
we got hold out of that last match with Baron Corbin. He should have had a match with Cena.
Cena. That should be the last match.
And Cena's that he'd be able to work safely with Kurt, so they can have a proper match without Kurt getting hurt. I trust Cena.
Edge's
And
last
then-
match to be with Cena.
And then this is where
Edge as well.
The Alpha
Edge's last
Academy.
match should be with Cena
Yeah.
This is where I will introduce the
or
Alpha.
Kevin Owens, since they're both Canadian. They've never had a match.
Who?
Kevin Owens and Edge. Thinking about last matches for Edge because Edge is retiring next year, August,
Oh,
in Montreal. That's his plan. He said
That's
after
deep.
next year he's done.
that's deep.
Ed
Thank
said he
God.
wanted to retire on his own terms. So when Ed says he's going to retire, I'm like, I believe that. Honestly,
Understood. I just want them to keep Judgment Day going forth because it can become franchise.
it can. So
Okay, so that's the card for Clash.
wait. So who do we say? No. We didn't get to the main title picture yet. Hold on.
See,
So we're
you
all
see,
in agreement.
Hammond,
Gunther is Sheamus,
I
or we're
tried.
50-50. That's why I said the best match of the night was the IC title. That's going to be match of the night. That's going to be
Gunther.
match of the night, guaranteed.
I got Gunther
Gunther,
all day.
Gunther.
Trevor,
I don't know. Probably one with Gunther.
Gunther. All right. So we're unanimous. It's going to be
Yeah.
hard hitting though. Sheamus is going to give that man a fight,
What?
man. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the main the main event in quotation marks.
The
Now,
man out here
before
family.
before we talk about it, Kenny let me into some information. Drew McIntyre's back injury is getting worse.
Yep,
So more than likely Roman is going over.
of course.
Yes.
How many
No.
times I gotta say this? Yep.
However,
However, what? Huh?
it has not been confirmed, but Bray Wyatt could possibly be the closer.
Yeah.
That would be good. That would be good. Question, dear moderator.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Bray come back?
Because he never lost to Roman. Not pinned, not
Dude.
submitted.
Got you. Got you. Okay, beautiful.
Never
That I can
been.
hear.
Remember, the
That I
last
can
match
hear.
Roman had involving the Fiend, he pinned Strowman,
True.
not the Fiend. The Fiend
Gotcha.
never lost clean.
That would be a dope closer.
That would work it over. That would get it over. That would get me watching. Because
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre is not
Yeah, they've been trying
the
to save.
business.
They've been trying to save Drew, but his
Save
back
Drew.
injury, like they're basically trying to put bubble wrap around him, not have him perform at live events.
But he's been performing, because if they don't, then we're not going to be watching on next week.
I mean, they got other people. I mean, he'll come on, but they haven't been doing it for they've been doing it for the shows, like for the pre-tape shows, not any separate live events.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Let's say, man, his
more than
finisher
likely-
is not long-term for your career. It is not good for your career long-term. He's lower.
why
He's landing on
gotta
his
be
lower
using
back,
his future shock DDTs and whatnot.
or some other more viable finisher.
The worst case scenario, and I really hate to say this, is if Cross comes to challenge Roman right after. Because let me be clear. I love that Karrion Cross is back. He's not ready to be in the main title picture yet. Not yet.
Shouldn't
Needs to
be
be
for 2
built.
to 3 months.
He needs to
You're
be
not
built.
getting the usage of your people if you're just running them in like that.
Yep.
They need to set it up for 2 to 3 months. Let
Yep.
me invest into Carrion. He's doing great when it comes down to being a dark character. He's another monster. You got Judgment Day right there who can feud with him right afterwards.
And please, for the love of God, get rid of that arm finisher. Please, Cross. If you ever come across this, please, I'm begging you.
What arm finisher?
Huh?
What arm finisher?
He has his finisher where he winds up his arm. It's called the time's up. He winds up his arm and he runs forward, and it's basically an elbow to the back of the neck. It's not. It doesn't. No, it doesn't fit him at all. Huh? No, he still has the cross jacket. That's his submission. But I'm like, switch that other one out for like that reverse F5 you were doing on the independent circuit. He was literally spinning these people in the air like they're freaking pizza.
Right, but then you can't do that for the rest of your career, homie.
I mean, wait, why not? What would that do to him? I mean, damage to other people, yeah, but what would that do to him?
Upper back. Remember, they're falling on their back on a regular basis, and it keeps twisting. The
Well, no,
back.
he does. Wait, all right, let me explain. He doesn't like do a F5, but it's in that motion. He turns around and he's literally tossing them in the air and walking away.
High risk, but okay, no qualm, dude.
Wait, let me hold on.
Let the other person do the bump.
We are in.
He's not falling.
He's okay.
He's spinning them in the air, and they're coming back to the ring splat.
Dang. Okay.
That reminds me.
Let me just give you a visual.
It's just like the eye of the storm. When James Storm puts you in the crucifix position and then spin you, and you just let go.
Okay. I can see that visual now. Okay.
Hold on. Now,
Okay. Crucifix. Boom.
Finisher.
Okay.
Except for this, that was a fireman's carry, reverse fireman's carry.
Okay.
Very, very dangerous.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was about to say.
Hold on. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys so you all can see that visual. This is all Cross has to work with. Hold on.
Like very dangerous.
Gonna
Sharing
paralyze
the
somebody.
screen.
Correct. Whoa, dude.
Hold on. Let
It's gonna drop, huh?
Right.
me just minimize that real quick.
They're gonna say, please do not try this at home.
You are absolutely right.
Remember that commercial?
We did all those moves regardless.
These are his 10 moves, but I'm looking for a specific one. But these are all his moves at his disposal. I'm not turning the sound on because I don't want to get copyright struck. Spike DDT. I didn't even know he did that. I didn't know he did that. Interesting. No, that's not his finisher. Double-handed choke slam. Yeah, I've seen him do this. He did that. I remember that.
Dang, dude.
Power bomb.
Okay, that's big boot.
Northern Light suplex. Exploder suplex. Oh, that's his Doomsday Saito. Forearm to the back of the head. This is that time's up move I was talking about. That move looks crap. That move looks like crap. No, this is the Doomsday Saito.
Very dangerous.
I didn't like that forearm. I didn't like it at all.
Okay, the Anaconda.
But there was one move he would do. They didn't show it on here. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me see if I could find it. F5. Oh, F10. My fault. It's not the F5. It's the F10.
F10.
He did it to Johnny Gargano. Here's a short of it. Boom. There it is.
These are not bedroom appropriate.
This.
Ooh.
But he did it slow. But
Yeah.
I've seen him like really spin, like literally he's spinning them like pizza pies.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see how he's not gonna hurt himself much in doing that move, and he'll be able to do that to quite a few people.
Exactly.
Big people.
I'm like, why isn't that his finisher?
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Chase is like, no.
Because it's up to the opponent to sell it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Really.
Correct.
Yeah.
like the little twister board thing that you thump.
But
Yeah, so
Cross right now isn't ready, and Roman doesn't have any more viable opponents.
I still don't see him having an identity quite yet.
Cross?
Yeah, it's just
Not in
not,
the WWE.
he doesn't have an identity yet. And I believe that a viable feud with him and Gunther for the IC title and a run with him in the IC title for about maybe a year and a half, and then possibly he could be ready for a WWE title run. But right now, don't put him in the title picture.
Okay, that's valid.
So again, to add on to that storyline, I can see Sheamus running interference to try and keep Karrion from getting the belt from Gunther.
So you get a Karrion and Sheamus feud along with them both beefing with Gunther.
Correct.
Like how you want.
Because you're going to need a couple of more people. Because Theory is going to need an entire different program if they're going to try and push him into the main event.
You know what? My fault. That was the second worst thing that could happen with Karrion Kross coming to challenge Roman. The absolute worst thing that could happen, and it's the highest likelihood,
It's
you
the
know what
cash
I'm
in.
about to say, is the cash in.
Correct.
If Theory cashes it in successfully,
He can't carry the company. That's for sure.
No.
He is too young and will crack under the pressure.
No.
If this was Vince, yeah.
He's not ready.
He sure pushed that boy to the moon.
Yeah, he did. And I think
they still need to keep pushing him, but he needs a different program in order to stay relevant.
You have to Dolph him real quick. When Dolph took the money
all out. I'm looking at the all out card because that's what we're moving to right now. It's shorter than Clash of the Castle.
Wow.
It has one less match because AEW doesn't have a World Heavyweight Championship match.
Bro, are we going to be able to talk? Can we talk AEW now? Because I think those people are on drugs right now.
Go. Let it fly.
Those people, stop with the Tony Khan. That man is on drugs. I just don't know where on the strata of wrestling drug usage he is on the backyard. Because they're beyond Hacksaw and Iron Sheik going cross country, but they're not as bad as Davey Boy Smith at SummerSlam high in the ring against Bret Hart. But, you know, they're closely approaching, in my mind, Jake the Snake Roberts smoking crack for an interview at Beyond the Mat. Okay? Because they're having problems. Dude, Eddie Kingston was melting down in the backstage because he got called fat by Sammy Guevara.
Hey, look.
No, he isn't.
Look.
No, he isn't, dude. No, he isn't.
Look.
Tony is having problems, dude. He can't keep his staff together. That's what's going on at the present moment, dude.
Look at this right here.
They're
Tony
doing crap.
Is God. I'm sick.
The storyline. What's going on?
All right, guys. All right, let's shut up. Let's shut up and get to the actual. Let's get to the actual card. All right, behave yourselves. You're getting out of pocket now.
What card, dude? They blew themselves in the foot. They shot themselves in the foot, dude.
They have a card. They have a card. It is incomplete, but it is a card. It is a pending card, subject to change.
That's what we're dealing with at the rate right now. We're dealing with a pain hop.
Let's get into our first match. Christian versus Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy is going over.
True.
Yeah.
Luchasaurus betrays Jungle Boy.
No, not again, because then he's gonna become as bad as Big Show with these heel turns.
Well, it's Luchasaurus.
Trevor is on one today. Trevor is definitely on one.
I was liking the dark Luchasaurus, man.
No, sir.
I was liking it.
You didn't like the dinosaur until he went dark.
Terrible. If he becomes any more dark,
hypocrisy on
he'll be black.
It's so evident. It's disgusting. But yeah, Jungle Boy goes over. Christian's done all this heel work just to get this kid over. So it's definitely Jungle Boy. But it's a match that I don't care about.
Of course not. It's curtain jerk.
Haters.
My curtain is not jerking.
Oh, what?
I feel no emotion towards this match. None. Next match. This is probably going to be a well, this could be a barn burner, but that would depend on on how Jericho is. But Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson.
It'll be a decent match.
I mean, I trust Brian Danielson. I trust him, but it's like, is Jericho gonna be on that 4 to 5 star match level quality, or is he gonna botch just a little bit?
At all,
I just hope he won't.
possibly.
As long as he shows up and he ain't high
or drunk.
Correct. Should be a good match.
Well,
this is all out. So
and who goes over, Brian or Jericho?
Brian.
Brian.
He just won against Garcia, so Garcia should interview.
So Brian over Jericho.
Right. Garcia should
interview. See this? There's not the same level of excitement or interest.
All of them sucks right now. Both of these pay-per-views suck, dude.
I'm hyped.
No.
It's like, who cares? It's like, honest to God, who cares?
For real, dude. I'm with Chase, man.
And then we continue with Swerve.
I go to the bathroom on that.
Continue with Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed for the AEW Tag Team Championships.
Should be a decent match.
It should be decent. I'm just mad that Keith Lee is in the tag team division.
Oh yeah, Swerve and Keith
could
Lee
have been a TNT champ, an All Atlantic champ.
Nope. I think he's good filler spot for him at the present moment. You introduce him to the crowd. You get him over a little bit more. You've got plenty of monster characters. You don't need him. He's
Keith
a good
was
face.
in AEW before Swerve. Keith is
right, but he's
a little minute.
But he's a good face. He's a monster character. You don't need him right now. I'd rather have him going. If you're going to do one-on-ones, bring back Miro to be heel. So
but Miro's facing the House of Black right now with Darby and Sting, and they're not even on the card.
Good.
Which makes zero sense whatsoever. Because trying to slowly introduce Miro back into the picture, it would make sense to have him on this card. So
Sting is old. Give him a break. He's paid his dues.
Yeah, but he's doing a good job of putting people in the
Sting is doing the job. He's putting Darby over.
And he's putting people in the seats.
Yep.
At the end of the day, this is still a business.
Yep.
Jericho puts people in the seats. Sting puts people in the seats.
All the WWE guys and none of the AEW guys.
Correct. Danielson.
All about the money.
Well, attention. Our attention is the money. And right now, that's who we're watching. That they got over in the best week of the month with 1.05. So they have 50,000 more people watching this week because of Punk versus Moxley than they had last week, which is and it's up almost 70,000 from the beginning of the month. The thing is that they screwed up their storyline because they said Punk had a foot injury. Now, if I remember correctly, Terry Von Erich wrestled with half a foot, and the Taker broke his foot doing Hell in a Cell. So how in the world is this professional wrestler who's best in the world gonna break his foot, but then show up 10 days later in order to defend?
The oldest in the world.
That's what he did. Wow, that's cold-blooded.
I feel like with Punk and Punk's case, and this is not excusing Punk because, like you said, all these other Pete Dunne wrestled with a broken foot against Adam Cole for the NXT Championship.
Right.
And he's younger than Punk.
Correct.
And he did the War Games match the day before. So he did 2 matches with a broken foot, back to back. Pete Dunne is built different.
Well, so is Punk is supposed to be built different too.
I mean,
especially if he's coming in space.
I think that was a Tony call to try and keep him quote unquote preserved for when he comes back fully healed, if ever. I don't know. It just didn't look good.
Drugs, man.
He's supposed to.
Drugs, man. Sabu is
supposed to
knocking
have
on their door, dude. Sabu is
yeah,
knocking on their door.
it's 2022.
Sabu
It
is
is.
basically broken. He's like, put me in the game, coach.
No, he
I'm
coming
not.
with the pills, man. You know what this is.
Yeah.
You know what this is.
Right. I'm not wrestling with shit broken. It's 2022. Like, no. I'll be the biggest baby if I was a wrestler.
Wrestlers are caring about their health nowadays.
I broke my
That's why
finger. I
Big E
can't wrestle.
hasn't come back yet.
She broke my heart. I can't wrestle. She broke my heart. I can't
No,
wrestle.
no. You got to come back like in '91 with the broken orbital rocket and your Hulk Hogan with the black eye.
Oh God! All right, but the last match, of course,
what we
we
just
all
talking
know
Fuck.
Thunder Rosa no, she didn't have to give up the championship. She is injured, and now they will be putting an interim women's champion in her place until she gets back. And the choices you have are Tony Storm, Britt Baker. I'm not even going to continue because we know it's going to be Britt Baker.
Correct. So hold on, Thunder Rosa. Okay, and help me out because I could be off here. She's got 2 bulging discs and haterade liberally throughout the locker room, correct?
Yep. Her and Britt Baker have legitimate heat with one another.
Oh, that's good.
Breaking
That's
people teeth, but Thunder Rosa's stiff.
She
broke noses.
wrestles very stiff. But Britt, being how she is, just clowning her. They took a whole photo shoot with a damn sandbag, for Christ's sake. You have heat with me too. I mean, damn, I'm working on myself in the ring, but you ain't have to clown me like that.
People don't fight no more.
Here's my thing.
They just go on Twitter.
Here's my thing. Honest to God.
Also, wait, I'm sorry. There was an additional match added. It hasn't been put on the official card yet, but Athena versus Jade Cargill for the TBS championship.
Yeah.
Now,
Huh?
Here's what I don't get right there.
Uh-huh.
Granted, yes, Jade Cargill has a beautiful build right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about her record, though, not the
yeah.
not the body.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful build right now.
Yeah, okay. Okay. We need to get this man a woman ASAP.
Here's the thing. I don't think that it's wise to leave the TBS title on her. When we're talking about interim champions, which I hate that word so much. I remember
man.
There was a time which you lost the neck, you wrestled injured, lost the match,
you forfeited it. You gave it up, left it in the ring.
Anyway,
Correct.
That's my point. My point here is, if you're gonna do this whole curse word champion, then I think Jade Cargill is the one to do it, and let's make her Jade 2 belts.
Yeah, she can't deal with that pressure though.
Here's the thing.
You don't think so?
Unless you're gonna do what? Squash match after squash match after squash match?
Yes.
Okay.
And keep the record going.
Just give her women that have been wrestling on Dark.
Oh!
It works though.
And then bring back Thunder Rosa
just keep squash matching.
When she gets healthy, give us Jade Cargill versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW Women's title. However, I would, as her being Jade 2 belts, I would have her pass the TBS to one of her quote unquote baddies.
Acolytes.
Yeah.
Put them in a faction.
Yeah, why not?
The Wiggies.
Let Athena, I don't know. Let Athena.
Ember Moon is not hitting the same as she did when she was.
Well, Athena needs to work on her promo skills. She's good inside the ring. She's got the great look, but she's got to work on her promo skills like Bret Hart back in the day. Same with Cargill.
Yeah.
She's too busy trying to be a good girl. You know what I mean? And that's why her and WWE used to have some backroom knockdown dragon matches because they were trying to make her a sex symbol. And it's not her character. And I get it. Athena. It's not her character.
Gotcha.
I get it, but trying to be the good girl thing, you're not working on your promo skills, your mic skills, and that's a huge part of your wrestling gimmick. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
80%.
So I say, how you keep her in the picture again. Jade Cargill becomes Jade Two Belts. She passes the belt down to one of her AKA baddies, and then we have Athena take the TBS title off one of the baddies.
Okay.
That is a viable program. That is a viable program. Viable program.
So
And then they just keep chasing Cargill for the belts.
Bam.
So what we're saying is, don't tune in to All Out on Sunday. Just what
And
we're
while
saying.
I wouldn't tune into Clash
Hell
of the
no,
Castle
I ain't.
either.
Hell no. Tune in. Watch it.
Nah,
You know why?
How much is it?
Why you should
How
watch
much is it? How much is it? No,
I mean,
how much is it?
at least Clash at the Castle is $3.99.
Dude,
I
here
ain't-
goes.
I
I
ain't
want
paying
to
for
know
it.
the only
I ain't paying no $60 for no pay-per-view. That's
I'm
dead.
not
I am.
doing it, dude.
I'm paying for it. I'm
Then
paying.
send us the link. Send us the link, please.
Let's
us the
watch
link.
for free.
Send us the link.
Let's watch
like-
for
Right. Just like I did not watch NWA 74.
free. That would have been a huge bathroom break for me.
Oof.
Dude,
Would have been in the restroom the whole time, huh?
these people with their Patreon fueled promotion, they'll say $50 for the year pay-per-view.
I need wrestling promotions to understand that the age of the pay-per-view is dead.
Dead,
So,
Yeah.
Dead and
Dead.
buried.
dead.
Hey, WWE, all you want. They were smart to get with Peacock and Hulu to get on that streaming services.
are they still
But
with
they
you
were
guys?
smart enough to have their
They're
own
still with
streaming
Peacock.
service
And you can catch Raw and SmackDown on Hulu as well.
the day after. That's been true. But they were also smart
Literally
enough to have their
the day after. So I don't have to wait like a whole week like on Peacock.
no.
Next day, my man, I can keep up with Raw and SmackDown
On
Truly,
Hulu?
so, but
on Hulu.
But yes,
Wow.
but now remember WWE was smart enough to have its own live stream. That's why Peacock picked it up, because it already had demonstrated numbers.
Yep.
So it was already on that tip. It had its own website.
Yep.
Why AEW does not do this in order to save itself at the present
I'm
moment?
like, you need to get with HBO Max or something and not Fight TV. People do not have money for a Fight TV subscription and they don't want it.
I got it.
Every time I download it, I literally undownload it every time. I don't lie. I get
what would be
inspired.
crazy? Tony Khan's got a lot of money, right? Why not do subscription with Disney Plus?
I don't know, bro. Like I literally download, I get inspired again to download Fight TV, and then I just undownload it again. Tony Khan does not
Stop,
think
Trey.
he's doing top shelf drugs.
Trevor's been brainwashed.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, man. Jake the Snake at the hotel, man. He's with Jake the Snake.
He's doing the top shelf stuff.
All right. Well, we've already given out our prediction. We will be tuning into whatever pay-per-view. You can choose either one. You can watch both. I will be watching Clash at the Castle, and I'll just be looking at the highlights for All Out. Because honestly,
Dang, man.
I tell you what.
hey, Sheamus versus Gunther. You bet your ass I'm gonna watch that.
Hey, can we get Trev? How about you watch All Out for us?
No, sir.
You see that?
I thought you had the pay-per-view, bro. I thought you had the pay-per-view.
I'm gonna watch it on Facebook.
OMG.
All right, so
Put
we're
the
gonna
link
get,
in the group.
We are
Okay.
now in our second half. We're gonna head over to pre-show talk, and the question of the night is: what match got you into watching wrestling? What match or matches?
Oh, wow. I thought about that when you put it up. And I'm super old school, so I have to apologize.
That is perfectly fine.
The match series, the program that got me was Roddy Piper versus Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
I think I saw a promo for that. He was on Piper's Pit. I remember that.
Correct, with
I
the
remember a
coconut.
video.
And he cracked the coconut against his head, broke him open for real. Then it was on for the next year.
Used
And
to
they did
beat
not have to
people
have a
with belts,
belt.
too.
They didn't need a belt. We legitimately believe they did not like each other, and it kept the kayfabe.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm talking about he used to take a belt off and like whip people with it.
He did, yeah. He took his
That's
belt
where
off.
Jericho got it from. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Man, Chase, what wrestling match got you into wrestling?
All right, so there's a couple. I would say Brett versus Owen cage match. I could say Razor Ramon winning the IC title from what's that dude name? Douglas.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could say, what was the third one I could say? I want to say Chris Benoit versus Sabu when he broke his neck.
When Sabu broke Sabu's neck or Benoit's neck?
When Benoit broke Sabu.
Sabu's neck. Okay.
Man, Trevor, what match got you into wrestling or matches?
I go back, but one that comes to my head is The Undertaker versus Stone Cold at In Your House, A Cold Day in Hell in '97. That's one.
Wow, dude.
Classic.
Yeah. That's a or like Psycho Sid and Shawn Michaels. I really started watching. I was like 3. I was 3 years old, so that's my answer.
Yeah, I watched wrestling with my my grandfather. May Allah be pleased with him. On and off all the time. We didn't have cable, so we always watched SmackDown on UPN.
Okay. Yeah.
There's so many different memories come to mind.
Good old days.
Eddie versus JBL in the cage match when Kurt Angle screwed him over and was faking that injury. I remember that. One particular funny memory where it was Brock Lesnar versus Stephanie McMahon and that handicap kid.
Oh yeah, Zach Gowen.
That was he F5.
That was Zach Gowen.
He F5 I was like, this dude was missing a whole leg and still wrestling. I was just like,
that was a salt and
can't be real. This can't be real. And this is for SmackDown. This is for SmackDown. With Raw, it wasn't more so matches, it was moments. So there were some good matches. Don't get me wrong. Moments like when DX reunited against the Spirit Squad and Vince.
Oh yeah.
But that was a moment. Most of the matches I remember, because like I said, I grew up a SmackDown kid. I didn't watch Raw until much later.
Oh, okay.
And then all of Jericho's IC matches from when he came back in 2007.
Yeah.
His second coming.
Yeah.
And of course, every Edge match, because I wanted that son of a gun to lose so bad. Every match I saw on SmackDown, I was just like, if Edge don't lose, oh my God, I'm gonna blow again.
I hated Edge back then.
Hated Edge with a burning passion. No, let's not forget every Eddie match. Every Eddie match I could catch.
Eddie matches were classic.
You couldn't hate an Eddie match. If you hated an Eddie match, I looked at you sideways.
Truth.
And let's not forget an underrated classic. It wasn't a match, but it was hilarious. It was at Saturday Night Live. Chris Benoit versus JBL in a drinking match. Shit was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
The one with Stone Cold, I remember.
Yep.
That one too.
Yep. Oh, underrated. Yeah. Also Saturday Night Live. Randy Orton versus John Cena.
Oh,
you remember this spot where they lined all the chairs up?
Yeah.
I believe it was either an FU or a suplex. No, wrong spot. I'm sorry. It was an RKO. Randy Orton RKO Cena straight through the steel chair.
Yeah. The audience was like
So those are just a few. But then I stopped watching wrestling for a long period of time. Grew out of love with it when it started to get the whole Laurinaitis stuff and everything going on with Punk. I left it for a while. I didn't start watching wrestling again until NXT, I'm going to say 2017. And the match that brought me back was Aleister Black versus Velveteen Dream.
Ooh, nice segue.
That right there. And I was just like, what is, because I saw NXT before and it was like a game show. You know, I was like, oh, this is crap. This is never going to last. I missed the early golden era of Sami Zayn, Neville, Finn Balor, Kevin. Oh, yeah. I didn't miss when Kevin Owens made his debut. So I started paying attention to it a little bit. When Aleister Black and Velveteen had their match, oh, I was hooked. I was an NXT kid for life.
When Baron Corbin made it there, I was
Baron Corbin, Big E is also an alumni. Yeah. Then you bought the Undisputed Era over. I watched the Johnny Gargano and Ciampa matches. I was hooked. And their women's division. I was just like, yo, these women are actually here wrestling. No bra and panty matches, no gimmick matches. These women fighting.
Rude was also
Bobby Roode versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Great draw.
Glorious Bobby Roode. I still know the song by heart. When he came out when Glorious Bobby Roode came out to a whole black choir singing his theme, I was like, oh yeah, this man is over. You can't tell me this man ain't over.
I just wish they would have let him keep the Rude bar.
Yes.
I really like it.
And then Keith Lee coming on the scene at the time. Keith Lee had me sold. Keith Lee had me believing black men could be championship material and not have to be bad guys.
Wildcat. Yeah. Didn't Wildcat come for a minute?
Bearcat.
Oh, don't talk.
No, he was with America's Most Wanted.
I don't recall.
Okay, so you remember James Storm, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Cowboy
James Storm was in a tag team with a guy named something Wildcat. I forget his name, but he's the Wildcat.
Yeah.
In America's Most Wanted. And he came to AEW. I mean, he came to NXT for a minute. And it was like, pow, he was gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Triple H didn't stick with everyone in NXT. I knew NXT, honestly, NXT from 2016 to 2019 was peak. It was peak. 2020 is when it started to like come down.
Pandemic. Soon the pandemic plus and competition from AEW.
Yep. It single-handedly killed it. Brought it back as NXT.
Vince single-handedly killed it.
Yeah. And now Triple H is getting back.
True. GH management.
But even then, I was sold on Cross. His NXT presentation was just top notch. And then what happened on the main roster was just I was so upset. I cried when I saw how they were presenting Cross. I was just like, I was just like that one scene from The Godfather. Look at how they massacred my boy. Look what they did to my boy.
Basically,
what have they done?
What they done to him?
Oh man.
Yeah.
I was hurt between that and everything happened with Keith Lee, and then all the releases up the ass. It hit hard. Damn near quit again. I only caught it like I was just watching the highlights on Ups and Downs with Simon Miller. Shout out What Culture.
I would like to highlight that the WWE isn't all of wrestling. So I've been, to the point where I know MLW has always been in existence. That NWA power, even though it's struggling with the Patreon fuel, it still has been on during this time period.
You still have your impacts. You still have your New Japan
and
Pro.
TNA. And I didn't pay attention to a lot of the TNA. So I missed out on a lot of Jay Lethal's runs.
Woo!
I mean, Ring of Honor has been going at
Jay
this
Lethal
time.
definitely won me over.
Well, big time. And then Ring of Honor, when it was everything it was doing, because it was cultivating people that we're looking at today.
Yep.
So, I mean, just to let those on out who are paying attention, who are casuals, know that there are other promotions that were going on during this time period that I know I was paying attention to when I wasn't paying attention to WWE.
Right.
Ring of Honor never really grasped me like that, but I did watch it a little bit. Only because it was just once the Elite left, it just sucked all of the air out of Ring of Honor. It was just like, yeah.
Because the Elite were mostly based in New Japan. And I went back. I didn't watch anything from New Japan unless it was something with Okada or something surrounding the Bullet Club.
All of G1 Climax.
I watched all of Finn's stuff. I watched Finn get betrayed by AJ Styles. I watched AJ Styles get betrayed by Kenny Omega and Adam Cole. I watched the rise and fall of Marty Scurll in there. He's a sexual predator, if you all didn't know. Watch out for that guy. I watched the whole civil war between Cody Rhodes and Kenny Omega. I only tuned into New Japan. Everything surrounding those individuals, those gaijin. And for those of you who don't know what a gaijin is, they're non-Asian wrestlers, particularly white wrestlers. That's what they call them in Japan, gaijin. But I only paid attention to them. I wasn't looking for Will Ospreay. Great wrestler. Didn't grasp me. Wasn't looking for Jay White either. Great wrestler. Didn't grasp me.
It grew on me.
Who? Jay White?
Switchblade. I like it.
Switchblade is great for memes. He's definitely great for memes. But even when he came to AEW, it wasn't like it was huge, but then it fizzled out. Honestly, the last great leader of the Bullet Club was Kenny the Cleaner Omega. Dude got over doing his own thing while swinging a damn broom. Literally. I mean, you could say but he got it over.
I want to say AJ is the greatest leader.
I mean, AJ definitely did take them to new heights, but Kenny brought them to the mainstream. Kenny brought them to the mainstream and made them marketable everywhere and not just Japan.
I really gotta give them their props for creating a faction that is that has transcended across the wrestling promotion. NWO almost did it. Almost did
they
it.
did, and the NWO did it all in the US.
Yeah.
But Bullet Club is worldwide.
Gotcha.
Even the most casual person will walk up to you and too sweet you if you know anything about Bullet Club.
But Bullet Club wouldn't be
without NWO, obviously.
If it wasn't
you can see the correlation.
The click.
Of course. That goes without saying. That's where Bullet Club got the too sweet from.
I thought they got too sweet from
Click, man.
Okay.
That's where Bullet Club got it from. Yeah.
That's what
they got it from
NWO.
And MWO, Click, they got it from all of them.
All of the factions came from the Click.
Horseman.
Yeah. Horseman was the original 4-man staple.
Right. Well, I take that back. No, that was back in the Bay Day, but no, for what our lifetime, yes.
Yes.
Because they were pretty common back in Buddy Rogers.
Right. You still have the Flying Freebirds.
Correct.
Van Elrics.
When I say factions, I'm talking about like all of the factions that control backstage politics, that is.
Yeah.
Came from.
You got a point with that.
True that. They would actually beat you up for real.
Yep.
So they are like
in the hotel room.
Shank you in some cases.
True.
They are the what you call that? What would you call that? Like a what do you call that? For like whenever companies come up with an organization that fights for your pay, what do you call that?
Union.
They like the union. You know what I mean? Of pro wrestling. You know what I'm saying? So every promotion has a Bullet Club or a Clique or an Elite somewhere in there, or NWO somewhere in the backstage controlling politics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So on camera, you got the Elite, which of course can control the backstage politics. You know what I'm saying?
Very sensitive too.
With AEW, you got, with Impact, still got Bullet Club members over there.
Yeah. They kind of spread all over the place because you got them in the E, you got them in AEW, you got them everywhere.
Yeah. And I thought we was gonna get that with AJ and Finn.
No, nope.
They snatched that right from. I was like, God damn it, I just don't want.
Because Vince didn't see the appeal. He just wanted to like tease and whatnot.
I don't get it.
Basically, we're gonna move on to pipe bomb topics, and we're going back to AEW being in shambles. And I know Chase is gonna have a field day with this because
absolute. You damn Skippy, I will.
Between what has happened with the AEW championship, what's going on in the women's division, all the incoherent stories.
Incoherent.
Not looking cash money right now.
Good to me.
AEW is on the boat, on a sinking boat right now. And I remember I told y'all that. Can y'all remember?
But they have a chance. They have a chance to still hold on. They still have a chance to remain the monarchs of Wednesday night. They have absolutely no competition from anyone when it comes down to Wednesday nights. They can maintain that spot. They do need to bring in more than 1 million people. They really need to start putting in 1.6, 1.7. And I thought that they would be pulling that by now.
Here's the reason. The reason why is it's not going to survive.
They're on drugs.
Yes. Top shelf. They need their Monday night, what you call it? Dark matches. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about their YouTube product.
It sucks.
I do.
No, the YouTube product sucks. Elevation and Dark suck. There's no
Elevation and Dark were done like Elevation and Dark need to be done like how Triple H was doing NXT way back when. Got to make us care. We don't care.
Right.
We just see people putting on matches.
They're using it like how they do before the Impact BTI, where they just show you what's going on.
They're basically glorified pre-shows.
Yeah.
OVW is what they are. They're literally just,
OVW actually has some talent coming out of there.
You, sir.
Hell, AEW just got started. What the hell?
No, we just got started. We're like in year 4.
That just got started anymore.
Shit,
it's only how many years?
3 years old. It's only 3
years
old.
It's 4. Ain't it like 4 years old?
3, I thought.
Either way,
once we hit the, you know what? Once we hit the 5th year, should they make it? That whole they just started, you got to cut that.
Well, they're going to make it.
And here's my thing. I was thinking Tony Khan was just like a young 26, 27. The dude is 40-something. And I'm just like, okay. Yes, Tony Khan is in his 40s.
Wow.
A few bad decisions and everybody judges.
Not a few. These are a lot.
A few.
The same ones I told you things going to
definitely definitely ain't been a few. And it's like
it's been a few.
We're out of the honeymoon phase. It's like
truth.
It's like when the difference between AEW and my wife is that I'm still in my honeymoon phase. I'm still enjoying it.
God damn it,
right now.
I don't know what marriage is. Shit.
I mean, it's not to say it hasn't gotten tough, but I'm still enjoying it versus what AEW is giving me. I'm not enjoying what I'm seeing.
The reality of the film haven't seen it yet.
My wife wakes up in the morning, she still looks beautiful. I look at AEW, it's not as beautiful as it was presented.
It's lost its luster.
All that makeup gone.
I've got criticisms.
All the glitter and glamour gone.
AEW doesn't wear makeup, all natural.
All natural, yeah. All right. Whoa. Their best product is not even on the show. Where in the hell is Maxwell Jacob Friedman?
The hell with him.
Yeah, okay. The hell with those.
See, that was hold on, but that was my thing. You don't have MJF. Punk is the only person that's moving the needle, and you mess up that storyline. Why? Why do you make him look weak right before your pay-per-view. When
Does he
this
hurt?
is the reason why he moved the dial. You know you may complain about him a year later, but he moved the dial. And then you don't keep moving forward on that front because you're self-imploding and you're having backstage meetings because you got too much going up your nose or something, dude.
And
He needs to tone it down from Jake the
Here's the
Snake.
biggest problem.
To Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Iron Sheik level.
Here's the biggest problem. AEW advertised themselves as pushing the new generation of talent forward. But you know who I see? Do you know who I see in the
WWE?
Title? WWE every single time. And you know what? I don't hate Jon Moxley. Workhorse. He's done his thing. He's a WWE guy. I'm sorry. Jericho. Putting talent over. That's great. He's putting talent over. You know what the problem is? He's another WWE guy.
No homegrown.
And here's the big issue. I'm not even gonna put Jericho in it because Jericho is at least putting AEW talent over. Christian is at least putting AEW talent over. Sting is at least putting AEW talent over.
Moxley is not.
Moxley has not. Moxley hasn't even put over his best friend, his supposed best friend, Eddie Kingston. Moxley hasn't even put over his own homie.
Well, Kingston suspended for 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, Kingston got himself suspended.
Hey,
because he got called fat. They're on drugs, dude.
Why they get so
drugs?
Why they get so sensitive over that?
Or being called fat.
That's hilarious to me. You are fat. Shit.
He says he doesn't want to be called that, though. You can't tell him to his face.
Man, if y'all get the
sir, that is body shaming.
He's a professional wrestler, dude. This is professional wrestling.
Not politically correct. So sensitive. Don't call me fat, man.
That is body shaming.
I'm not. That's not fat shaming. If you're fat, it is a shame.
That's cold. I'm sorry I laughed.
You're gonna get us canceled. You're gonna get us thrown off the platform.
I did not mean to laugh on that. I did not mean to laugh.
Remember, they're gonna remember our faces. Listen.
It was me. I did it. Hell, I take all the blame.
Say it.
They gonna MJF me.
I represent the thoughts and ideas.
The thoughts and views of One Trevor X Laws does not embody the views and thoughts shared.
Why you say my whole name? Why you say my whole name? Don't say my whole name.
We have to put that disclaimer out that his thoughts and views do not represent that.
Reflect. But yeah, AEW is just not looking good right now. It's not. On a serious note, they got to do something and they got to do it fast. Screw what your network thinks about MJF. He was one of your best products and he's not there. And everything he said in his last promo before he left was all true.
You get right. So they can't. Right. So then to me, Dark Elevation can be revamped, throw in some storylines. I think they're stretched too thin and the creative just doesn't have any ideas. Because if they did, then they'd be able to put together a coherent script that is Marvel-like, where you have stuff that's crossing over, because you can have people who are on television coming down to Dark and Elevation and going back and forth so that we're paying attention. Cassidy is a good one that can go back and forth. He's great. Okay. You got not Death Certificate, but Pac. Pac was going back and forth. It would be good.
Pac hasn't done anything. Pac hasn't done anything with the All Atlantic Championship. He's just been tag team feuds.
Nothing. What are y'all doing? Like, what are you guys
doing? Drugs.
Chase lives for this, but I'm not trying to rag on AEW. I'm just telling you what I'm looking at.
Well, we rag on WWE. We're doing the same thing for both promotions. We are doing the same thing. We just went to the bathroom on Clash and Child at the castle, which is a filler international non-canon pay-per-view. It's trash, dude. We're saying the same thing about AEW right now. We don't know what's going on. There's too much coke that's pure. It's flowing. The system is bad right now.
I'm dead. Stop it.
It's bad right now, dude. It's
so
for
here's how
real.
now
They're throwing good money after bad.
let's talk about how they can fix it.
Okay.
How they can fix it right now. They can, of course, drop Death Triangle out of that. Did they lose in the trios division yet?
Yes.
Yes,
They're out already.
they're out.
Yes.
Get rid of this. I will break up Death Triangle by allowing Roosh and Andrade to acquire them.
Oh.
Acquire
Then
them.
what you gonna do with Pac?
Pac, I would get him jumped by all of them, which then puts him in a feud with Andrade for the All Atlantic title.
And make Andrade a freaking champion finally.
Thank you. Simple
Should have
fix.
been a champion.
Put that
Another one should have been a champion.
that
True.
TNT title needs to come off of. Well, no, it don't. Leave it on him. Leave it on him for a while.
Leaving on who?
Leave it on Mr. Wardlow for a little bit long. I like
Correct.
it. I like
At least
Yeah, 'cause the
6 months.
Pinnacle's
Give him
living
6
right
month
now.
run. Let him make his money because he's selling T-shirts.
he is. I like
He's
the
over.
whole Powerbomb Symphony thing. You know what I'm saying? As far as I like the fact that Hook got the title now.
He got his daddy's title.
It makes sense. Makes sense. How aggravating. It makes sense. However, he needs a meaningful feud now.
Yes.
We need a meaningful feud where somebody dog walks his ass on that first goal.
Was MJF, but I'm gonna shut up now.
I would say put who could be a viable feud for him for Hook?
For Wardlow?
No,
for Hook.
Hook.
I would
Hook?
say
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I missed it. Hook.
I don't know. I'll put Garcia overhold. You know what I mean? Type
Well,
of
then
Yeah,
put
Daniel
Guerrero-
Garcia. I was gonna say Dante Martin, but both Martin brothers keep getting themselves injured. So
yeah.
Darby could jump in
Darby
there, but I mean, you can have the small guys going at each other with 5 or 6 of them being able to go back and forth over the belt.
I
It
like
would be
Darby
viable.
versus Hook. I like
Yeah.
that idea.
gives
I like
Darby something else to do.
And then
Something
it's
viable. He needs to be running after a belt. He's small, he's talented, but they really need to have them fighting over a belt.
Small,
And a
talented,
tournament would
and
help.
ready to throw his life away.
There you
At
go.
every match.
Shoot, he's performing stunts off of AEW when he's not doing AEW. Death-defying stuff.
All like
He's the
Mondo.
modern day Jeff. All he needs
Armando.
is drinking habits and the pills, and you're set. And the
Mondo.
crazy thing is, Kenny told me this. Darby's doing all of this, and he's straight edge.
What do I mean? He doesn't take
Nope.
anything?
Doesn't take anything. He's doing
He's
all this.
lying. That man is he's snorting pencil shavings like Mustafa.
I'm sick.
These people are on drugs.
I need for Miro to finally accept the House of Black and become the leader, and put him in the world title run against Moxley.
Easy.
Now he has
A leader over Alistair? What happens to Alistair?
Alistair falls to second in command. But it comes back around full circle where Alistair starts feeling some kind of way, and then
Beautiful program.
Okay.
they kick Miro back out of the House of Black. Miro's still the champion though, but it puts Alistair in the title hunt against Miro.
Correct. And then bring in another person to rival the leadership. So House of Black is always doing Game of Thrones. I'm liking you, Chase. That works.
All right.
They're bringing another person.
What about everything going on with the Elite?
Ooh, that's easy.
Because you got Adam Cole concussed, but the Undisputed Elite are going against the original Elite. And you still got Hangman Page in the middle with Dark Order.
The Undisputed Elite.
Tournament.
I say.
And then you got to factor in Will Ospreay beefing with Kenny Omega.
But I don't know if that's going to be long term. Is Will Ospreay coming over? Is he contracted, or is he just coming over to job because Climax is over?
Probably.
You know, I always thought that was a weird thing for wrestling to actually get that pay-per-view. Like, that's the name of the pay-per-view, the Climax. Anyway.
It's beautiful.
You're going on timeout. You're going on timeout.
Right, guys, a little bit of more AEW, then we got to talk about the huge elephant in the room. I don't even know if Chase knows what I'm about to talk about next.
Lord.
For those of you all who are not on Instagram and not familiar with this wrestler, I mentioned him earlier, one Velveteen Dream. He is petitioning. He even has his own hashtag, Bring Back Velveteen Dream. And he is petitioning WWE to bring him back. Now, here's the caveat. For those of you, I'm going to bring everyone up to speed. Velveteen Dream was subject to allegations of inappropriate relationship with minors. However, post him being released by WWE, he released a statement as Patrick Clark, and I'm going to read it out in full because it was quite the statement. See, the problem with Velveteen is kayfabe, him trying to be in kayfabe messed him up.
Art imitate.
Yeah, but he was one of the I heard that, but he was one of the
as far as the
people,
situation is concerned, and on Twitter.
But because he was one of the biggest ones to shoot kayfabe in the foot. He was always hating on kayfabe. He said it was dead. He said you need to just follow the scripted program. That creative tells you what to do, and you're an actor, you're a stuntman. You're supposed to just get the job done. It's your job to get yourself over in the character. He was a hater.
Which is ironic because he certainly kept it. IG statement. Now,
I just thought that was an interesting argument for him to come back with, man.
It was very funny. But we got to go to post. This is post his release because, of course, everyone, the whole hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream, and I was a part of that because I, for one, at the time was very ashamed, burned all my merch and everything. I was that upset, and Velveteen was one of my favorites.
True.
He was one of my favorites, and I was hurt. Kukai knows this. Chase knows this. Yep. I was hurt by this.
Yep.
He was.
But apparently, these accusations ended up false, and I have the full statement here. The allegations of April 2020 have effectively derailed any upward momentum I had professionally, and ultimately has resulted in my termination with WWE. My name is Patrick Clark, not the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is a character that I have spent years developing and trying to bring to life. The success of the Dream character relied heavily on kayfabe, my ability to blur Patrick Clark from Tough Enough with this over-the-top personality. The character was conceptualized the day Prince passed. Wow, so he definitely dedicated this to Prince. April 21st, 2016. I knew nothing about him at the time, but my thinking was that I could use my interpretation of Prince to create an on-screen personality vastly different from who I am as a person. Cue Velveteen Dream, a sexually ambiguous, gender fluid, self-absorbed diva. And as I learned more about Prince, I began to tame certain aspects of the character, aspects that I deemed way too over the top and inconsistent with who Prince was as a performer. Now, before I unpack, I will say I've enjoyed the many stories I've been able to share on camera, and I'm grateful to the many people who trusted me with their safety and wellness.
Nice disclaimer.
Sheesh, it's long.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna just fast forward.
Please.
The night of April 20th, from my verified Instagram account, I posted a story to my followers, letting them know that my DMs had been open. I received a few different messages ranging from support, heckling, some inquiring about how to get started in pro wrestling. I responded to a few, but not all. And of the few I responded to, one account accused me of solicitation. The account belonged to a 17-year-old aspiring wrestler, Jacob, before he deleted it. In the conversation, Jacob shared his interest in working as a wrestler one day and asked what steps would be required. I messaged a short list of things he should consider if he was serious: physique, promo, etc., physique, because as an independent contractor, no one is going to make you train and eat away that creates the aesthetic of a believable pro wrestler. And promo is our job. And promo, because our job is to sell drama, and you can't rely on someone flipping channels to stop and watch a choreographed fight. You're more likely to grab their attention looking into a camera with a strong and impassioned 30-second monologue. I also inquired about which schools. Sheesh, so much. Damn it, I lost it. Jacob basically explained he felt anxious messaging him and whatnot, voice messages. But this is where the problem comes in. He chalked it up to the dude being innocent, and he messaged him, but in his Velveteen Dream voice to keep the kayfabe. That was his first mistake. The full message had me asking Jacob about his height, weight, where he trained, and what school he attended, which Jacob answered back with a voice message, and I continued to answer his question until I politely wrapped up the conversation. April 21st, I woke up to notifications and tags of created screenshots and videos of a conversation that I didn't have with Jacob. I immediately contacted WWE's talent relations and social media departments as to begin an investigation. Even after the investigation, WWE released a statement maintaining my innocence. The part that hurt me was having a personal picture that I've used in my personal life on apps being used to label me as a predator. I'm in no way of the word a predator. This is my first and only time I've been accused of solicitation to anyone. So that was the first part. Now, for those of you who don't know, that solicited picture, which I'm not going to describe at all, was actually on, and this is, please, wrestlers, anyone who comes across this podcast, if you're going to date, keep it private. Don't use dating sites.
Please.
Keep your stuff off the internet, because
Please.
if people get access to your stuff on the internet, you're basically screwed. I can't tell you how many divas pictures have leaked all over the internet. I can't tell you how many.
Leaked.
Anyway, continuing the story. Until I was accused of grooming by a Joshua Fuller. That's another person now. This is the guy. I've seen his Twitter. Unlike Jacob, I know Josh. I met Josh after my stint on Tough Enough at a meet and greet, and we developed a friendship through a mutual trainer at GXW. Josh shared to Twitter screenshots of the first time we communicated through text, an autographed picture from when we met, and an extremely contradictory story. Josh alleged that I had made him feel uncomfortable, but contradicts himself twice by saying I was never sexual toward him. For those willing to research Josh's tweet accusing me, Josh's messages are in blue and mine are in gray. Josh claimed that he was a 16-year-old high school graduate and that he takes yearly trips with his friend to Orlando, Florida. I doubted what he told me, yet I kept my replies diplomatic and professional. The reality of the situation is that I was very helpful and respectful to Josh. Josh lives with his grandparents in rural southern Maryland. Josh got a concussion 2017 and against my advice insisted on wrestling. My worry came from Josh severely injuring himself, especially his brain. I suggested he take time off from training to see a doctor. He declined because he believed he could work through the concussion, and I cut all communication with him in 2018 because I did not want to be partially responsible had he worsened his injury. So to have him accuse me of predatory behavior because I chose not to help was spiteful. Now, as you can see, the drama.
Beyond. This is unnecessary.
Yes. Did I mention that Jacob and Josh are of the Caucasian variety? Moving on. Josh and Jacob are two of many people that I've helped, yet these are the only two who have found me to be malicious and predatory and how I go about helping others. What wasn't shared at the time. Josh Fuller reached out to Jacob over social media before Josh put out his own accusation. When this came out, Josh Fuller temporarily deleted his Twitter account, which is important because in all the social media confusion, Josh Fuller is the only one who suggested that an investigation had not been done and that he had not been contacted. Jacob deleted his social media after he was outed for being a member of an anti-black group chat.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
There's a public forum, which is censored, where people are buying, selling, and sharing explicit photos and videos of multiple wrestlers. And no one has done anything to have that site taken down.
Question: where are they getting the contact from? The leaked photos and leaked videos?
I mean, iPhones are easier to hack than Androids, if I'm being honest. They are.
No,
But yeah, apparently they are. I've spoken to some techies, but we're not gonna get into that. This is a wrestling show, not a tech show. And all in all, this entire experience defamed my character and ultimately accomplished what it sought out to do, and that was to see me release. My hope is that over time, people can put two and two together and realize that all the allegations surrounding me were baseless and untrue from jump. I felt strongly about not needing to defend myself on social media. Second mistake for a while now. But I understand the audience I work for and those who know me deserve clarity after the fact. I'm thankful for the opportunities afforded to me and the memories I have kept as a receipt. God has always had me, and he always will. Dream is officially over, but Patrick Clark lives to fight another day. And that's the end of that. So his two mistakes were trying to keep kayfabe, one, and not being transparent on social media, because the court of public opinion can be a lot stronger than the actual court.
True. Right. So then my question becomes, teacher, why he's not making a comeback in the ring? Instead, he's trying to do propaganda over social media.
Now this was pre his release, everything I read. The recent Instagram post was just to get a buzz going. I'm sure he has been training in someone's ring, but he hasn't been able to get bookings because of the allegations. And the court of public opinion is still strong on him at the time. I recently made a tweet saying, I don't know what to believe, because I want to keep it careful. I want to be careful. But I said, if he is innocent, the court of a public opinion is not always correct, and he should be given another chance. If he is innocent, he should be.
Right, but I would imagine that he could cut promos over social media and then work his way into MLW, where he can then be seen from the work that he's doing, and then make his way to the other promotions. But right now, he's making an appeal to go right back to the top.
Yep, that's
WWE.
They're going to be careful. They're going to bide their time.
I will say that my opinion is always black. It's so black that it's controversial. So I would say that I smell that it was some type of sabotage. Possibly. That's what I smell.
Because Photoshop is so easy to manipulate. It's ridiculous.
Indeed. But then also, these wrestlers are putting content out there that can be easily manipulated.
That's what happened with Paige.
So you got to be careful on that front if they're trying to protect their brand. Because again, Velveteen Dream could have been in character defending himself this entire time. He was released.
Yeah.
Yep. It's kind of hard because you weren't the fact, and this is why communication is so important.
Correct.
So at some point you got to break away from that character and be and address everything fully, or else everything wouldn't have escalated up to this point. It wouldn't have. We probably would still have Velveteen Dream in WWE had he broken his kayfabe that he was so strongly against. Irony, and he would have had a cage, and Josh and Jacob wouldn't have had a leg to stand on.
He could have used it as an angle in order to get even more heat on the Velveteen Dream.
I'm forgetting the wrestling for a moment. I just want this guy to actually be innocent. Forget the wrestling for a moment. Yeah,
I'm with you on that front, but I'm saying he could have defended himself in kayfabe through communication. I'm in agreement with you that communication is key, And with everything that you just let out, even though that's a lot of personal detail that you end up having to put out publicly, even if it is a year later or so, but it's still, that's a lot of private information, man, that starts messing with your professional self. So if we got that line blurred, he would have did better, no different than what you were just saying, coming on as Velveteen Dream and addressing the situation in order to maintain some momentum. Because he was at NXT, okay? And he was hot. We were all like, yo, go Dream, go. I mean, he was
He won me over. Man, I told this man, why is he here? Yo, Kenny is here. Kenny is here. Kenny 9 is here against
Doctor's
my
orders.
will. I told you should be resting. He could not miss the show. He could not miss the show.
I couldn't, and I'm just cooking dinner for my wife. So
we were just discussing the whole Velveteen Dream situation. Kukai suggested he go to MLW and start building himself from the bottom up, even though he's trying to bring himself back to the E. But it's like the court of opinion is so strong. It's going to be hard to bring him back anywhere.
I don't know about that. E, yes. MLW.
I mean, have you
NWA?
seen Twitter? They're pretty. Twitter is the worst. Twitter is a toxic wasteland, especially if you're someone. The public, court of public opinion is birthed on Twitter. It just travels over the Instagram and Facebook.
mm-hmm.
True.
If you say anything that could even remotely sound like, okay, this sounds logical, let me put it out there, you'll get lambasted for it.
True.
I'm surprised my recent tweet about the whole situation didn't get hit yet.
Well, let me put it this way. MLW just got rid of Los Parks simply over the tag team match between them and Jacob Fatu and Alex Hammerstone, the current champion. And what happened was apparently they shot the father and son duo of Los Parks shot on Fatu and Hammerstone and opened them up in the match. And apparently planned and to go at it, and Los Parks hot-tailed it out of there before anything could go down. But word of the mouth is they got fired after that.
Oh, so they set up a receipt and they need a receipt, but they ran before they could get their receipt.
Exactly.
I can see. Yeah, I'd have to let them go too, man. That's dirty.
The court of public opinion also plays like mind games with MLW because there was the whole situation between Sami Callihan and Jim Cornette.
Yikes.
And
wow, I wouldn't get into a fight with Corny, man.
Yep. And Cornette ended up leaving and Callahan left too. So it's really like you would think MLW would be fine for Velveteen Dream, but court of public opinion affects them too. And it's just not broadcasted on the scale of the other companies like people think it is.
Yeah, but Cornette shot himself in the foot with all of his, he would not back down at all and kept escalating it with his commentary, which is what Cornette's going to do, because I kind of saw that with MLW, but they've been able to keep most of their scandals behind backstage and keep the promotion going. So I would have thought that because they had such a small regional audience that, somebody like Velveteen could come in with a little bit of a name recognition, like they keep doing with people, reestablish himself, not stay long, do a 6-month program, and be out.
Yeah, but the thing is, they want to lock guys down long term. That's
Not
why
gonna happen, dude. It's Florida.
That's why MJF left. And yeah,
it's Florida. They do Florida and Georgia. That's where they run back and forth to. Florida and Georgia, man. It might as well be Mid-Atlantic Wrestling.
They come to Chicago too. So my trainers have actually done a show for MLW. So one of the things I could tell you is they want to lock people down long term, and like guys like Swerve left, MJF left,
Right.
the Lucha Brothers left,
Cross
Right.
left.
yep, Cross left, and
So you should leave.
the new Heart Foundation left, Davy Boy Jr. and Pillman Jr. they left.
No, I wouldn't have. If okay, I mean, I get why they did to go to AEW, but I think Hammerstone is good where he's at. It's good to be the king of the mountain. And when the Heart Foundation left, they shouldn't have, because they would have been able to like actually make some bread there. But where they're going now, one, AEW just stretched too thin. They don't have enough.
But
Okay.
2 words: Teddy Hart, and that name alone should tell you why why they left.
Teddy Hart, I heard, is a headache and have to deal with.
Right. I was about to say, this is a hard person to work with, man. Just mad resistance.
Yeah, he's only a Hart because of his mom's marriage. So he's not
Mother.
His last name is Annis, so he's not really a Hart. Like he's a Hart, but he's not deep.
He's a Hart by legality.
Right,
Yeah.
right. In law.
He ain't really about it.
No wonder why
Put Hart in quotes
he's
next to his name.
he never added up to the equation. I was like what? Like his nothing about him screamed like Heart Foundation. It was like nothing you do really adds up. Like, what's going on here?
So
Like
we are nearing the end of our show. Man, as you all know, there will be no Brotherhood of Wrestling podcast episode next week, because next week are the 2 pay-per-views, All Out and Clash at the Castle. And then on the 11th, these 4 gentlemen will be on the show. This will be the first show without me running things. So I'm sure they'll do a wonderful job. I'm actually glad to have a full day off on Sunday and not have to be here to moderate. I'm sure everything will be orderly and fine. No one will be at each other's throats or anything. I'm sure we'll have a grand old time.
Right,
they'll have a grand old time. And if it does happen to be chaotic, don't blame me. I'm on my vacation with my wife. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't message me. Don't do anything. I am with my wife, living la vida loca. If anything happens on the show while I'm gone, that's on them.
I'm doing all 3.
I'm gonna do my Prezi prediction and say we got a Kenny Jr., a Kareem Jr. on the way. I don't know why I keep mixing y'all.
No, sir.
We got a Kareem Jr. on the way.
No, sir.
Predictions right now.
I'm gonna put it like this: I am a safe worker.
Wow.
I'm a safe worker.
I'm snitching.
Yo.
I'm snitching.
Hey, yo.
and did we get
I am not a spot monkey.
Oh,
not a spot monkey.
Okay.
No,
I'm not. I'm not.
Shout out to Safe Worker.
And time.
Well, this has been a great show as always. I'm sort of looking forward to Clash of the Castle, and I'm gonna skip All Out.
Trevor, watch it for us.
I want the link.
Trevor's gonna watch it for us.
You
I'm
got
still
it.
looking for the NWA.
Ain't no way I'm
link.
paying $60 for an incomplete pay-per-view. I ain't doing it.
actually they're going forward with Punk versus Moxley. It was a work.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bad booking. They're on drugs, man.
So what you're telling me is they're gonna screw Moxley over at the pay-per-view?
Correct.
What I'm telling you is the internal plans are for them to run back Moxley and Punk with an actual match instead of a 3-minute squash.
But they shouldn't have set it up that way in the first place, because we already did this.
They should have
I'm
left
done.
it alone.
I will see people next week. Yeah. Peace.
And then, of course, the next episode we will be presenting Kenny Omega's next match. This will be on the 11th. Kenny will be playing it for us. It'll be Kenny 9 versus the Wild Man Beast. And from the preview I'm looking at, he is a chunky boy. But that will be on the 11th. You all have a wonderful evening.
GG's.
This is K the Creator signing out.
Peace.
You all enjoy your Sundays. And
Yes, sir.
live, love, life in wrestling. All right.